Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your hosts from the Atlantic Coast Conference, Amy Yacola. Man, I should click on that.
Listen, I'll take it. It's better than a number of names I'm probably called on a given day. So, welcome. Thanks for being here, and good afternoon. It's been an outstanding week in Orlando. It really has. It's been great to be with everybody. So pleased that everybody's here to join us for this year's convention. And it's terrific to see this room packed for today's special awards luncheon. This past year has certainly included significant change for this organization, and no doubt significant change for many of us here in this room. So that's why it's so wonderful for us to be together at this year's annual convention, celebrate today's amazing honorees who have worked so hard and tirelessly throughout the year to get to this point. And of course, to celebrate all that's been accomplished by CSC and its membership. So again, let's start by giving you guys a round of applause for being here this week. Everybody that's done a great job in putting this together. I will say from a personal perspective, it is again an honor and a privilege to be here and serve as your MC. That's as much time as I'll spend on that. Let's get started on the important things we have here today. We'll kick things off with the 25-year award. It's presented to CSC members who have completed 25 years in the communications profession. At this time, I'd like to ask that the 2023 recipients of this award gather at the base of the stage. And while they're doing so, we're going to recognize those honorees that are not able to be with us. From William Patterson University, Heather Broshish. From NESCAC, Lisa Champagne. From California State University, Monterey Bay, Kevin Gilmore. From the University of Oregon, Todd Miles. From the University of Louisiana, Matt Sullivan. And currently out of the country because he's traveling with the University of Tennessee women's basketball team, Eric Trainer. Round of applause. And now let's go ahead and start with those that are here in attendance today. We've got Rick Bender, Dartmouth College. We've got Mark Fleming, Moravian University. We have Ed Haas, the Collegiate Water Polo Association. Jamie Hall, Youngstown State University. Chad Jackson, Georgia Southern University. Ken Johnson Jr., MIT. Susan Lax, University of Kentucky. Chuck Poole, Rice University. Chip Ransom, Shepherd University. Curtis Snyder, University of Colorado. Don Stoner, Augsburg University. And from Liberty University, Todd Wetmore. Congratulations to this year's 2023 recipients of CSC's 25-Year Award. Part of CSC's mission is to engage and empower members, develop exceptional leaders, and promote and enhance our profession. Two important initiatives, the Fellowship Program and the 30 Under 30 Awards, helped us do just that this past year. At this time, I'll ask the members of the Diversity and Inclusion Fellowship and the 30 Under 30 recipients to gather to my right at the base of the stage. CSC's partnership with the Knight Commission on Intercollegiate Athletics has resulted in an educational series for select members designed to provide insight into diversity and inclusion issues and encourage members to become effective champions for diversity and inclusion on their campus and in college sports. At this time, I'd like to welcome Scotty Rogers, member of the CSC Racial and Social Justice Initiative, who will join the class of 2023 fellows on stage. Once you get your certificate, if our fellows could please join us on stage, that would be outstanding. The entire class is listed on the screen, but for those in attendance, come on up, let's get a picture and recognize this moment. We are going to take a picture, so pretend like you like to. You're gonna have to have some of you step up. Yeah, come on, move it in. Again, I think we all know what this group is doing really matters. It's meaningful. It's important work, and congratulations, and let's give this year's class a round of applause. Thank you guys. Congrats. All right, the next group. The next group we're going to recognize was created by the association's Young Professionals Committee and voted on by several other key committee groups within CSC. It's an exciting new recognition program that started in 2022 to honor up-and-coming strategic, creative, and digital athletics communications professionals throughout our membership. Candidates are considered for selection based on achievement in one or more areas, such as professional success, impact on their athletic department or conference office, and service to CSC. More than 100 members were nominated in the first year of the award, and I'd like to invite past president Cindy Potter to join me on stage to congratulate the recipients. As we did before, the entire class is listed on the screen, But for the group that's here with us today, please pick up your certificate and head up here to the stage, as we'd like to recognize you and give you a round of applause. Yeah, we need some people to kind of move in and be in the front row, some people in the back. As they finish up their picture, I think we can all agree that this group is very important to this organization. They have the opportunity to be the ones that carry us forward in the years to come. And congratulations to all of you on this honor. We expect a lot from you in the future. You're too funny. All right. Hang with me for one more minute, and then we will break for lunch. But we have the opportunity to recognize, again, as we look at all of you that have come in to take part of this awards ceremony, we have the opportunity to recognize what makes this group, this organization so special, which is each and every one of you. And as I share a number of categories, please stand if you're a part of this group and remain standing until all categories are recognized. I want to start with the folks from Tennessee State or Vanderbilt here, led by Nick Guerrero from Tennessee State and Michael Scholl from Vanderbilt. Each of them won this year's Changemaker Innovation Award, so please stand up. Congratulations. If you received a convention attendance grant in 2023, stand up. Oh, no, don't sit down. You guys stand. Oh, yeah. Whole time. If you served on a CSC committee this past year, stand up. If you participated in the Volunteer 15 program, CSC Fitness Challenge, or the 5K, stand up. If you were part of the Mentor program, join the group. If you voted on all 14 academic All-America ballots in your division, which we should start with this one, stand up. If you successfully nominated a CSC Academic All-American or Academic All-America Hall of Famer this year, stand up. Did you contribute a story to CSC 360? Stand up. Did you give a shout out to a friend or colleague during Membership Appreciation Week? Please stand. If you participated in a CSC webinar, coffee shop, or networking event, please rise. If you have won a CSC Special Award in the past, were a Rising Star, 25-year award winner, Hall of Famer, or any of the other great awards that are given out, please stand. And finally, winners of these contests will be announced in the coming weeks, but if you entered your work in the Creative and Digital Design Contest, or the Fred Stabley Senior Writing Contest, or you applied for a CSC scholarship, please stand. Congratulations. Congratulations to each and every one of you. This is what makes this so special. I hope I feel like they're really going strong with my walk-up music here. I I'd like everybody to enjoy their lunch, and we'll resume the program soon. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jessica Poole.
Good afternoon. I hope that your meal was wonderful and the fellowship was equally as wonderful. As has become our tradition the last several years, we would like to take time to thank the incredible people who have served us throughout the week. At this time, please help me acknowledge the wait staff of the Marriott World Center Resort. Thank you for making Orlando our home away from home. At this time, please welcome back our host for the rest of the award show, Amy Yacola.
Oh, goodness. All right, it's great to be back. Got a couple other things up here now, because we're really going to start cooking with gas here. All right. Give me a minute. Give me 1 minute here. Okay. All right, thanks, Jess, and congratulations on the tremendous job you've done this year as president. And I know you're going to join us back up here later today for some remarks and for the passing of the gavel. So let's get started with the CSC President's Award. This is presented to an individual selected by the reigning CSC president and honors exemplary volunteer service and leadership within the organization's committee structure in support of programs that benefit CSC members. The 2023 award winners are Cole Hellman for developing the new CSC 30 Under 30 initiative as Young Professionals Committee member. Cole? Cole was in the back, so he's making his way. All right, we're going to go next to Jeff Hodges. As he's giving instructions down here, we're going to acknowledge him for his service as CSC Secretary and Special Awards Committee Chair. Jeremy Rosenthal for his Goodwill and Wellness Committee leadership. Colin Terrell for his work on CSCU programming. Colin. Tim Volkman for his leadership as D3 Cabinet President. Tim. And we've managed to keep it a surprise all the way to this moment, but we'd like Lori Boland for her exemplary service to our membership and her work in expanding and enhancing the academic All-America program. Let's give a big round of applause for this year's President Award recipients. All right, Lori, I promise that's the only deviation. I'll follow the script from here on out, okay? Yep. All right, let's move into the Bob Kenworthy Community Service Award. It's presented annually to a CSC member for civic involvement, community service, and accomplishments within and/or outside of the communications profession. The 2023 winner of the Bob Kenworthy Community Service Award is Jeremy Rosenthal from the University of Texas. Come on back up. Jeremy's a little nervous. I told him that I was going to ask him some really, really hard questions. So let's get started. You just received the President's Award, obviously the Community Service Award. Talk about the importance of all the things that really you make go. The NACTA 5K walk run, its impact, and how that's a really important initiative for you.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's a lot of fun, the event itself. A lot of you all were out there for our event on Monday morning up at 6:30 a.m., so thank you for that. And more importantly, we were able to raise $7,500 for Frontline Innovation Studios. And I think those of you that were here on Monday night for the awards ceremony, you saw the kids that came and interviewed Debbie, and that's really the impact of the event. And going there and seeing, I mean, these kids are middle school kids, and the things that they're doing in broadcast, robotics, virtual reality, they're way ahead. So it's amazing to get our group together and also to make an impact and to help those kids.
You know, you just touched on the things that were accomplished this year. When you look ahead, what do you hope to accomplish in years to come through this committee?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. I think the committee was started as just the Goodwill Committee, and it transformed into Goodwill and Wellness, so aspects of physical fitness, volunteering, logged your volunteer 15 hours, but a lot of different things, mental health awareness, so there's a lot of things, just kind of bringing together this organization and its members, and doing a lot of things. We did the COSIDA Fitness Challenge during the pandemic. That was a great way to bring people together, and so just continuing that. Fantastic.
We got a couple rapid fire for you. You ready? All right. Best sporting event you've ever attended?
You know, I'm actually going to go to an event that I got to participate in. The Boston Marathon this year is an amazing event, and got to run in that this year. And so we'll go with that.
Favorite kind of ice cream?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
All right. Best advice you could give someone just starting in this business?
Yeah, I think gratitude. So, like, thank you to. I've got people from Indiana, for Texas, that that are here, members of the Goodwill and Wellness Committee. So thank you to them. I think invest in other people, get to know other people at your school, at other schools. And then lastly, I'll say just try and see what you can do every day to make others people's day better. So some of you know that I like to bake, and I made some chocolate chip cookies this week, so thank you, Amy. We're going to give you some cookies.
He said, he tried to turn it around on me. He said, you better be careful what you ask me. I might have a surprise for you. So I got it very well done. Kudos. Congratulations. If you haven't had a chance to spend time with Jeremy, please make every effort to do so. What an incredible member you are. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was well done. Yep. All right. Our next award is the Lester Jordan Award, presented annually for exemplary service to the Academic All-America Award Program and the promotion of the ideals of being a student athlete. The 2023 winner of the Lester Jordan Award is Mike Montoro from West Virginia University. As some may know, Mike recently had major surgery, and the good news is he's recovering nicely at home in Morgantown. We know this award means a lot to him, as does his role on the Academic All-America Core Committee. Since Mike is unable to be with us today, he sent this video acceptance.
Hello, college sports communicators and Academic All-America Committee members. I am sorry that I couldn't be there with you today to accept the Lester Jordan Award, but a prior commitment with the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association and the presentation of the Dick Hauser Trophy at the College Baseball World Series in Omaha precluded me from being there. I would like to thank Liberty University Associate Athletic Director Todd Wetmore for accepting the award on my behalf. Todd was my former assistant SID at Liberty and also serves as a member of the Academic All-America Committee. When Kevin Lanke called me in February and told me that I had earned this prestigious award, I was truly stunned. I even joked with him and said they must have run out of people to give the award to, and since I had a lot of years on the committee, I was next up on the list. In all seriousness, I attended my first Sports Information National Convention in 1989, held at the Crystal City Marriott in Arlington, Virginia. I remember it like it was yesterday. Throughout that week, I was scrambling around just trying to figure out what was going on and what I was supposed to be doing. I was fortunate enough that the who's who of the West Virginia University Sports Information Office was there, and they so graciously let me hang out with them. I got to rub elbows with the best of the best. CSC Hall of Famer Shelley Poe, former Ike Pearson Award winner and longtime SID professional Kevin Keys, and my current boss and friend, Senior Associate Athletic Director for Communications here at West Virginia, Michael Frigale. The biggest thing I learned from them was to get involved in our organization, and the best way to do that was to join a committee. You learn how to network with other colleagues, make lifelong friends, and best of all, make a contribution to our organization in college athletics. The Academic All-America Committee was the choice for me. It was the organization's most visible committee and did the most for showcasing and publicizing not only the most talented athletes, but the best students in the classroom and in the community. I really believed I could make a difference for the student athletes at my school as well as across the nation by joining this group. The committee and the voting process has completely changed since I joined it in 1995. We used to get the nominations by fax. How many people know what a fax machine is these days? Or we would get them in the mail. We had to type all the nominations by hand and produce a 10-plus page ballot, mail it out to all the district SIDs, and then wait for the votes to come in, also by fax. Then we tabulated the votes by hand, sent the results to the national coordinator so the Academic All-America team process could be done. All the SIDs who have gone through this process understand and can sympathize with me. We all pulled many all-nighters making sure that the deadlines were met so we could have the teams. Then computerized voting came in, and I had to learn a new way of producing the ballots. We had to condense all our nominations to as few characters as possible to fit the format so the ballots weren't too long. Once again, we veterans had to learn new technology so we could continue doing our part, making sure the Academic All-District and All-America teams were named. I am humbled to have been selected for the Lester Jordan Award. Over the years, thousands of SIDs, coaches, and administrators have promoted the ideas, the hard work, and perseverance of being a student athlete to the outside world as Lester Jordan did. And with the work of our committee, it still continues today. Being on this prestigious committee has been a passion of mine and a highlight of my career for many years. I'm honored to be recognized for continuing that work, and I know I made the right choice all those years ago. I would like to thank my fellow committee members, especially core members Kevin Lanke, Mark Beckenbaugh, Laurie Bullig, and Dick Light for selecting me for this year's award. I also want to thank all the committee members, former and current, with whom I've had the pleasure to know and work with. I would like to recognize and thank all my coworkers and colleagues at all the various schools where I've worked and have collaborated with in our business. I want to close by especially thanking all the student athletes I've worked with and promoted their abilities on the field and in the classroom, and that continue to be part of what drives me in my professional life. Thank you.
Accepting the award on Mike's behalf is Todd Wetmore of Liberty. Thank you, Todd, and certainly congratulations to Mike. The CSC Achievement Award is presented annually to two members, one in the University Division and one in the College Division, currently serving in the role of an associate or assistant director in the profession, who have made outstanding contributions to the field of athletics communications and provided exceptional service to their institution, conference office, or intercollegiate athletics affiliated association. A nominee must have 10 or more years of experience in the profession and have not served in the lead role overseeing an athletics communication office. The 2023 winner of the CSC Achievement Award from the College Division is Brandon Hensley from the University of the Cumberlands. Shall we?
We shall.
All right. You got somebody else went before you, so you know how this is going to go. Maybe.
Yeah, real quickly, I don't know if anyone out there has done the thing where you put your clothes on before you come to a big event, but I found a sock in my pocket today. How many parents out there, you know, this is my son's Tucker's sock, I believe, so that's a little good luck charm, but it's always fun to find. This is my souvenir from CSC.
That is none of the questions I got they're not gonna up that. You come from a television background. What impact has that had on your work and coverage of the Cumberlands?
Well, I think if anyone out here has worked in television, one thing that you have to have is a solid work ethic, and that goes also into sports information. So being a TV person, I kind of knew what to expect going into sports information, what deadlines were, what long hours were, as many of us know. But I also know that it's one of those things, working at a small college, we don't have the luxury of big companies coming in to promote our student athletes. So that's something that we have to do internally. So I know kind of what television stations are looking for if we want to promote those athletes. So that's what we did, how we brand things, is we find content and we find ways to get it to TV markets. So having that experience, I think, helped in that manner.
You mentioned the tireless efforts that takes, and certainly you've been at the forefront of the streaming and highlights for all of the Patriot sports. How do you balance those multiple events and ensure teams get fair coverage?
Well, that's one thing that there's a lot of schools out there that don't have the luxury to have either the equipment, the bodies to do so. And one thing that we do at University of the Cumberland is we try to give fair coverage to everyone, whether it's football all the way to, I don't want to say one team's less than the other, but let's just use wrestling. Everybody's going to get fair coverage with us, so we try to make sure the equipment is out there, and at the very least, if it's not a huge production, everybody's getting the basic kind of content, and we try to stay consistent. That's a big word that we always have, is consistency with our coverage, consistency with how we get our product out there.
All right, I got 3 rapid fire. Ready?
All right, yes.
All right. 1 or 2 of your proudest accomplishments at Cumberland's?
Starting the streaming. Before this was, I guess, maybe 2015 or so, we didn't really have a streaming element, and it was a job that I stepped into, and I'd like to thank Tommy Chasnoff for helping me kind of get that started and take off with that. But starting the streaming and setting a bar for not the NAIA, not the Mid-South Conference, which we are in, but setting a bar for small college. Some schools look at us as, okay, that's a product we would like to do. There are a lot of schools better than us, but we stay, once again, consistent. So that's a proud accomplishment that I have.
All right, number 2, bucket list event you've not yet checked off your list.
Well, if we're talking sports and professional sports, be it a Chicago Cubs World Series game. Cubs fans, all right, I feel your pain too. If it is college sports, as far as what I do, the NAIA Baseball World Series was something that was probably going to get to this year, but our softball team made it, and I had a chance to go down there, and that was probably equally as good. So that was amazing to be. So I guess I can cross that off my bucket list, but Cubs and World Series for sure.
Last question. Where's the other sock?
So once again, if you have kids, your child can be wearing a sock, and they don't know it's on their foot. So it's probably on his foot right now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
congratulations to Brandon Hensley. Nice job. The 2023 winner of the CSC Achievement Award from the University Division is Susan Lax from the University of Kentucky. All right, you ready?
Yep.
I watched you yesterday or 2 days ago on the panel, so I know you have a wealth of knowledge to offer. You're best known for your ability to create relationships with student athletes, coaches, media. I think we can all see that just by watching you, your personality and what you bring. For you, what is the key to building those relationships, Susan?
The key for me is time and being present. I try to be over at the football building when they're eating and talk to them and have lunch, and every time I see them, I don't want to be asking them to do something. So when I see them, I want to tell them how much I love them, and now they're calling me Mama Slacks, which is really making me feel old. But so just being around and letting them see me, and not being that annoying SID that's always asking them to do something for media, but to be around at other times too.
Traditionally, one of the more challenging assignments in this profession is working with football, right? A sport where there was almost exclusively male for a long time. Yet you've worked successfully with the Kentucky football program for 26 years, including the last 8 as the primary contact. That's incredible. And what would you tell women in the audience who might be hesitant or give some advice?
Thank you all very much. I have to shout out my boss, Tony Neely, who nominated me for this award and has also just been there for me all 26 years, and wouldn't be up here without him. But I would say that if it weren't for people like Tony, Mitch Barnhart, our AD, and my head coach, Mark Stoops, he's the 5th coach I've worked with, but all of them have empowered me. I've never felt like a woman in football. I've just been another person working in football. I told this yesterday, Coach Stoops will cuss me out just as good as he cusses out his players and coaches. So I just stay in my lane. I don't try to go in there and talk about cover two and all defenses because I don't have a clue. But what I can do is I can build relationships. I'm organized. I just can get stuff done. And if you just kind of do that, it's easy. So my advice is just stay in your lane, do a good job, and like I said yesterday, be cool. Just be cool.
You're very cool. We'll do rapid fire.
Okay.
Favorite sports story you've been a part of during your career?
Well, I have a bunch, but I'm going to say rapid fire 3 things, okay? I have a player with 6 fingers, J.J. Weaver, you can look him up. He didn't want to talk about it. Tony wrote about this in the story on me, but now he helps kids and has a foundation called The Perfect Fit where he goes and talks to kids about being different is cool. And then I had a quarterback who had Tourette's, and he helped a little boy who was getting bullied, and they're still friends to this day. We did a story on that. And then the last one is I had a player with melanoma on the bottom of his foot, African-American kid, and he does stuff now about wearing sunscreen. And even though you're African-American, you still need to wear sunscreen because melanoma is something you don't play with. And so we went on the Today Show, and we did a lot of cool stuff, got to see J-Lo. And so those are highlights.
Those are 3 good ones.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to do when you're not doing your job or working in sports?
I basically don't have a life, but I have 3 godkids, and I spend time with my family. Shout out to my friends here, especially my girl Molly Mazzolini. He flew in from Utah today for me. So, but just hang with my friends, family.
Best advice you'd give your 21-year-old self, which is just a couple years ago for both you and I. So
last
what would
year.
Yep.
To take time for yourself. I said this yesterday in my panel. If I could talk to myself, I would take every single vacation day that I've had. I used to not do that, and now Tony can attest. I take every single one, and most of the time in a row consecutively. So take time for yourself. Take off sometimes, and do you have a life unlike me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Susan Lax.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations. That was really great. Oh, you were fantastic. All right, we're going to honor some rising stars. The Rising Star Award is presented annually to 2 CSC members, one in the university division and one in the college division, with 10 years of service or less, whose work at their institution, conference office, or affiliated association and service, dedication, energy, and enthusiasm is what they bring, makes that individual a rising star. Obviously, I said we were going to present one in each division, but we are not going to do that because, as has been the case for the last several years, and as we saw earlier in this program, young professionals are crushing it right now, and that's a really good thing for us. It's too difficult to pick just one, and so this year we're going to honor a total of 4. The 2023 Rising Star Award winners from the college division are Tommy Chazanoff from the University of the Cumberlands and Donnie Smith from Southeastern University. All right, we're going to do these questions together, right? So, 2 honorees for this year's college division are from the NAIA. What do you feel this says about the level and quality of sports communications in the NAIA? Tommy?
I think the biggest thing is it says that we're growing. The NAIA, when we started, I think we did not have a lot of recognition at the CSC level. Since I came to COSIDA when I started as SCAD, I've seen the number of attendees grow, I've seen the participation on committees grow, I've seen the involvement grow, and we keep talking about being diverse, and diversity includes across the different levels. And so I'm so proud that we had 40 NAIA SIDs here. The other thing was, when we went around that room, and Donnie, you heard that too, the number of SIDs in the NAIA that said that they've been here for at least 5 years and staying in the NAIA has grown so much as well, because we had a lot of turnover for a lot of years. Now people are coming to the NAIA and establishing themselves, and that says a lot to the growth of what we're doing and the product that we're putting out there.
Donnie, add your thoughts.
Yeah, could you repeat that? I couldn't hear you over Tommy's shoes. But no, as far as the NAI goes, like J.D. Campbell told us the other day, the big time is wherever you're at. We've got great people at our level. You saw the list of 30 for 30. There were a ton from the NAI. So like Tommy said, we're a growing division that has great people in it.
Great. We're going to stay with you, Donnie. You've been very involved at both the NAIA and the CSC level. What have you learned from your service? And also, since you took over as president of NAIA SIDA, what can we expect from your presidency?
It's given me an opportunity to grow in leadership and just kind of learn how to get things done and build relationships, to ask good questions, to see things from different vantage points. You may not always agree with what you're hearing, but it gives you a chance to see a different perspective. And again, just goes back to some of the youth in our profession, just trying to create some resources for them to come into a situation and be successful right away.
Tommy, talk about your staff. How vital is having a staff like you have in order to provide the coverage you're able to give at the Cumberlands?
I'm very fortunate. We have a tremendous staff. I'm glad that they're here with us. I mean, we brought 5 people to the COSIDA convention. You know, from the NAIA level, that's a really big staff. I'm fortunate I have 5 full-times, and we could not do what we do on a daily basis and on a postseason basis without all of them contributing. You know, we saw Brandon up here earlier. What he's done to evolutionize the video streaming at small colleges has been amazing. We have Kristen, who was a 30 under 30 this year. Her digital and her graphics creative services that she has brought to us has brought a new dimension. The diversity that our staff brings allows us to get creative and try new things, but it's also about covering the student athletes, and we're very fortunate. We finished 6th in the Learfield this year. 22 teams made it to postseason, making sure that we make every team feel special and feel wanted while still balancing what's going on at home. It has allowed us to travel and cover them, but also make sure we are not letting teams that have home events suffer because of that coverage.
It's great. Both of you are almost 10-year veterans, right, in this profession. What piece of advice would you give someone entering the field? Donnie?
Don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. I think you'd be amazed just at who would be able to pick up the phone, whether it be a cold call or an email, just asking questions on how you do things. It's funny, like 9 years ago at this convention, I tailed Chris Wells into this luncheon to get his thoughts on some football stuff. I wanted to make sure I sat at his table, got within earshot, because I had a handful of questions to ask him about covering football because we were starting in the fall. And he told me everything that I would want to know. So don't be afraid to ask questions. There are no dumb questions.
Tommy?
And I will echo that. I'm very fortunate that when I started at SCAD, Donnie was at Southeastern. We were in the same conference, and we exchanged a lot of emails during that. But my piece of advice is advocate for yourself. Advocate for trying something new. Be willing to reach out there and make yourself a little bit vulnerable, but try something. If you fail, you learn from it. So there is no failure. You learn from it and you grow. And if we continue to grow year in and year out, you're going to be special and do some great things in this profession.
We're going to do a little bit of rapid fire, okay? Ready? Dream side hustle. Won't pay the bills, but it sounds like it'd be fun.
Won't pay the bills, but sounds like it would be fun. It'd probably be in college athletics. Maybe a little bit of writing, maybe a little bit of stats, maybe a little bit of creative content. May not pay the bills, but it'd be a blast.
You want to try to beat it?
Donnie, I really thought you were going to say Chicago Bears and take over Kevin Warren's job. To me, it would probably be something traveling where I get to have some fun and be outside and see new places.
Favorite thing to do in your spare time?
This is not going to shock my staff, but hang out with my dog Simba, take him around campus because he is the campus dog, but also spend time with my friends and family, and get to travel.
Since my wife is here, I will say home renovation projects with her. Don't encourage her to do any more, but it's what we do.
All right, last question. Will you be getting a pair of his shoes?
I don't think I can wear them as well.
Will you get him a pair of your shoes?
Absolutely.
Then we're done. All right, let's move to the university division. Fortunate to be able to recognize Tyler Cady from Syracuse University and Katie Ryan from USC.
You've gotten to ask me a lot of questions this week. I don't like it.
I did, and yet you're still very afraid, aren't you?
Came back.
All right. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. When did you first become aware of athletics communications as a professional career? Katie?
Sure. So I realized this could be a career pretty early on in my college experience. So I grew up in Orange County, California, and I was a big USC football fan. And I grew up reading a blog, and it was called the USC Rips It blog. And it was the first of its kind, and it provided a behind-the-scenes look at the program. And so when I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo to play volleyball, I realized that the football team there didn't have a blog like that. And I thought, maybe this is a need that I could fill. So my first week of my freshman year of college, I walked into the head football coach's office, completely unannounced, and I sat down and I told him that I wanted to write a blog on the team. Now, this was back in 2010, and so he just stared at me and he goes, "What's a blog?" And I told him I wasn't a journalist trying to get a scoop. I was there, I wanted to be a part of his team and promote his program. And so he goes, "We'll try it for a week, we'll see how it goes." And so from that moment on, I was at every football practice at 6 a.m., I was at every game, I was writing stories, taking pictures, capturing video, and it turned into a really special thing. And I was a pretty big piece of his recruiting strategy because at the time, Instagram hadn't really taken off yet, so it was a place where the student athletes could come find pictures of themselves, their families could come see what they were doing on a daily basis. And from that moment on, I realized that this could be a potential career for myself.
And here you are. Yeah. Tyler?
I had the opposite experience. So I went to school to be a physical therapist, and physics and I didn't really get along, so went to an easier path. I had after bringing home a GPA that started with a 1, had a very frank conversation with my dad. He said, "Listen, you got to find something you really like to do." I knew I wanted to work in sports, didn't really know exactly where that was going to be. So I transitioned over to the dark side, did some writing in the media space. And then that was when I was at University of Buffalo, and I met guys like John Fuller and that whole staff, and I was like, oh, their job's pretty cool. So I realized kind of the SID space and what that was. Fortunately, got to Canisius College, where right now Jason Viniski and Matt Lozar took a chance on me to be their GA. Loved it, and I've been in business ever since.
Fantastic. Tyler, let's stay with you. You've worked with many different sports during your time at Syracuse. Have you been able to juggle working with all those different teams and coaches?
I think for me, it was just being honest with the coaches. Like, everybody in this room has different sports that are different priorities at their university. There's things that get more coverage than others. So it's understanding with, my coaches that when I'm not with football, that I'm going to try and make their postseasons, their big events special, but I may not be able to dedicate as much time as I would like to certain other things. And, that's just the way it is. But if you can really try and make those big events, their NCAA and conference meets and things like that, really special and show that you really do care about the athletes, it's just sometimes you may not have as much time to be pulled in as many directions as you'd like. I think it's pretty positive experience.
Fantastic. Katie, first year as Director of Football Communications this past year for USC, right? New coach, Heisman winner, 4 others winning All-America first team honors, Trojans competing late.
All right.
Trojans competing late in the season for a P-birth, that's pretty impressive. How were you able to manage all that? First year, incoming, lots.
Yeah, it was a really exciting year. And I truly believe I was so prepared for this role because of just the mentorship I had. Hall of Famer, the greatest to ever do it, my mentor, Tim Tessalone. He provided me with immeasurable knowledge and experience throughout my 9 years working for him. And so, Tim, I am eternally grateful to you for all of the opportunities you've provided me and for all of the knowledge you've bestowed on me and how you helped shape my career. So thank you so much. Additionally, I can't say enough wonderful things about Coach Riley. I truly believe a strong relationship with your head coach is paramount in order to successfully promote your program at the highest level. You need to be able to understand their vision, anticipate their needs, be a sounding board, be a confidant. And Coach Riley has been so incredibly supportive of me and my career, and it's really a blessing to be able to work with him every day.
Stay with you, Katie. What advice would you give the version of yourself just beginning in this career and profession?
When I was growing up, I was told if you love what you do, it's not work. Now, after being in our industry for a decade, I can't necessarily say that's true. In our field, there is lots of hard work. There are long hours and missed weekends, as we all know. But what I would go back and tell myself is, if you love what you do and you give 100% of yourself every day to your craft, your coaches, your student athletes, everything's gonna work out the way it's supposed to. Trust the process, build strong relationships, don't stray from your morals and values, and ultimately, be a good person.
Tyler.
I would say just kind of don't sweat the small stuff. I think it may have been Liv over there that coined the phrase at one time, the game day Tyler. I kind of had an alter ego where things don't go well, you get really fired up, not, little things like, live stats crapped out or things like that. You got to understand what the real priorities are, and if I did that now with everything that's happening in the college landscape, I would have a heart attack. There'd be no way I can make it all work. But, it's finding the things that are really important, going all in on those, and then understanding that, not everything's going to be perfect.
Fantastic. Rapid fire, ready? All right. Best sporting event you've attended?
Best sporting event I've attended would be January 2nd, 2017, when USC beat Penn State in the Rose Bowl 52-49 in the last second of the game.
It's very specific. All right. Tyler.
All right, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to give a weekend. So my first year at Syracuse, we won 2 national championships with my 2 sports in the span of 26 hours. So I was like, this job's really easy. Social engagement's off the charts, So it hasn't been the same exactly since, but, it is what it is.
Very good. Bucket list event you've not yet checked off?
I'm going to say college football playoff, preferably with us playing in it.
I like it.
Winning a national championship.
I'm going to take that one, too.
Last one. It's not lost on me that we sort of have West Coast. We have East Coast, very specifically. Ever moved to the East Coast?
No.
Ever moved to the West Coast?
I love the Syracuse winners too much, right? That's what everybody says.
And that's it. Congratulations. Congratulations. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. All right. We did it. We did it. As we work towards the close of another great special awards luncheon, it's my pleasure to welcome up to the podium CSC Executive Director Eric Christensen.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. What a great day we've had and a great week that we'd have. I'd like to start and just first of all, let's thank again and congratulate all of our award winners today. Can we give it up for them, please? On behalf of CSC, on behalf of our board, on behalf of our staff, I want to thank everyone who's here, everyone who's invested in coming to this event, everyone who's invested in being a part of this organization. It was something that really attracted me to this role. I'd been around for a long, long time and was a part of it for a long, long time. And that always really impressed me, just about the engagement of so many people in this organization. And in particular, I do want to thank the CSC staff right now as well. None of this happens without them. So can we thank them, please? We've had a heck of a year. Jessica and I have talked about that a lot. We have gotten a lot done in 12 months. We've rebranded. We've had exceptional record-setting member growth. In 2019, we were about 3,200 members. I'm happy to tell you today that we're above 4,100 and we're hoping to approach 4,200. That's just amazing. And I think what that really shows is that everyone sees all of the changes that we've been making, all the changes that you have been a part of have been so pivotal. So we have positioned for the future, and we're really excited about that. Speaking of the future, I really like that I get to follow the rising stars up here. We know that the future is bright, so I want to congratulate Tyler and Katie and Donnie and Tommy. And I'm pretty sure that if college sports doesn't work out for Tommy and Donnie, motivational speaker and stand-up comedian. You with me? So as I get ready to embark on year 2 as executive director, yesterday was 1 year for me, and I'm really excited about that. I'm really looking forward to what the future is for us. I'm looking forward to serving with all of you, and we are here. This organization exists so that we can advocate for everyone here and for everyone in our profession. We know there's a lot of change, right? We know there's challenge. We know also that there's tremendous opportunity. And there's really no other part of college sports that has undergone so much change as this group right here. And what I'm really excited about is what we are doing now is that we have positioned ourselves to help shape the future. We're not going to let the future shape us. We're going to help shape that. So really want to encourage everybody to lean into that. Look for ways to get engaged with the organization. Another part I really like about this event is when we go through that list and have everybody stand up who's contributed, virtually the whole room is standing. That's a testament to the engagement of all of you to support the organization, more importantly to support the profession, and then ultimately to support and provide solutions for college sports as well. So again, thank you for being here on behalf of our board and our staff. We really appreciate you. And it is my pleasure now to invite back to the stage, we still get to call her president, Jessica Poole.
At this time, I'd like to thank the outgoing members of the Executive Board of Directors for their service to our organization. Past President Cindy Potter, College Division Rep Dan Rudy. I'd also like to welcome our newest board members for 2023-24, recently elected to the 3rd Vice President role from Purdue University, Patrick Crawford, and elected to a term as College Division Representative from Southeastern University, Donnie Smith. What a year. Last year I stood before you as incoming president of COSIDA, and today I stand before you as outgoing president of College Sports Communicators. A year ago, I started this journey as the interim athletic director at Chicago State University, and today I conclude the journey as Chief Operating Officer of Minnesota Aurora FC. Truly, what a difference a year makes. Before I get into my speech, I need to thank a few people. First and foremost, the CSC Executive Board of Directors and staff. I could not have asked for a better group of people to team with, people who are truly my family. So much so that Big Will knows Auntie Cindy, AKA the Disney lady, lives in Como, where Mommy went to school. Big Will watches the Big East religiously because of Uncle John, is learning to call the hogs because of KT, and is ready to learn the Canadian national anthem because of Auntie MB. These people will forever be members of my family and a part of Big Will's circle. Please don't teach him bad things, though. I do think that will be a problem with this group. I'd also like to thank June Stewart, Judy Wilson, Tammy Beauclair, Shelley Poe, and Cindy Potter. I stand on the shoulders of these women and would not be standing here today if not for their sacrifice and example. I will be forever grateful for this sisterhood. Parenting is hard work, but parenting and athletics is hard. This year tested me as a mother in ways I could not have imagined, but Big Will and I made it through. To Big Will and my family, thank you for sharing your mom, daughter, sister, and friend with 4,000 plus aunts and uncles this year. And I promise next time we're in Orlando, you can come. Auntie Cindy will hook us up. Last year, I stood before you with a shirt on that said first but not last. And I pray that I am not the last woman of color to lead our organization. But if by some reason I am, I hope that my legacy will be someone who lifted as she rose, someone who put the organization first, and someone who led with dignity, integrity, and heart. Pressure is a privilege. And this year, being the first Black woman to lead this organization was definitely pressure, but it was the privilege of a lifetime. I hope I inspired someone, just as April Emery inspired me. And in the words of Ted Lasso, believe. Leading this organization was more than I imagined it would be, and more than I could have ever asked for. This experience with you all at this time was truly my wildest dreams come true. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for letting me lead, and thank you for letting me lead. It truly has been an honor. There's nobody better prepared to lead this organization than my brother and my friend, John Paquette. Fondly known to the board as Little I, he is equipped to lead us into the future, and while I will be handing him a plate full of things, he will be a tremendous leader for CSC. Please help me welcome my friend, John Paquette, your 2023 CSC president.
Thank you, Jess. As I was preparing these remarks, I was thinking to myself, I'm usually preparing for other people, so this is going to be short. I promise. It's an honor to lead this group, College Sports Communicators. I've served in college athletic communications for my entire career, and the opportunity to be president is very exciting to me. I pledge I will work tirelessly to promote and serve this organization to my best of my ability. And as we've said, we've had a memorable year. We've undergone plenty of changes for sure. Jess Poole has been a terrific president guiding our ship. Executive Director Eric Christensen has been out in the field helping to lift our profile, as well as leading our diligent and effective staff. Will Rollison, Lori Bolig, Barb Koval, Bo White, our Secretary Jeff Hodges, and our superstar intern Kobe Mosley. My fellow Vice Presidents, Kevin Trainer of Arkansas, Mary Beth Challoner of the University of Toronto, past President Cindy Potter of Columbia College of Missouri, and board members Donnie Smith of Southeastern, Dan Rudy of New Haven, and J.D. Campbell of Indiana, have all made meaningful contributions throughout the year. But just because we've made a lot of changes that we've talked about certainly does not mean our work is done on that front. We have to continue to reach out to people outside our organizations and remind ourselves to get our name out there and our new look out there and our new name. It's going to take some time, but this needs to be an ongoing process for everybody, and we can all do that. Indulge me for just a moment while I offer some thoughts on what the profession has meant to me. As we know, we're facing some important challenges. Some people are leaving for higher pay. Some people struggle with the long hours, or both. I think I understand some of what's going on. Our jobs have changed, there's no doubt about that. And my observation is that many think the job is not as rewarding and fun as it used to be. Fun's one of my favorite words that I use during the executive board meetings. So whether it's the long hours, but we have good jobs. We're part of the excitement of competition, and it's the value of the personal relationships that mean the most to me. Personal relationships with our colleagues, from schools, from our opposition, and sometimes even the media. I do think we can do some things to help ourselves. We need to get out from behind our laptops and get our faces out there for our own internal reasons and for our own fulfillment. I would venture to say that we have all seen exciting games. We've all watched terrific competitions. But I'm in this for the personal relationships that I've made along the way. I even have longtime friends that I just see here at the convention. And I think that's a really cool part of this job. And let's remember, we're not the only profession in collegiate athletics that has issues. Trainers, operations people, and other support staff are often being stretched to the limit. And we know we are too. But we have good jobs, at least I think we do. We get to be insiders. We help to set up everything from scratch. We know the athletes. We're friends with the coaches. These are some of the things that I like, working as a team together when the arena or field is empty, and then having everything ready when the national anthem is ready to go. We're always willing to help each other, whether friend or stranger. A couple years ago, we changed our golf championship venue to another place in Florida. So I looked and decided that Florida Gulf Coast was probably the closest school to where our venue was. So I needed a photographer. I called, left a voicemail. Within 15 minutes, I got a call back, and 10 minutes later, I had a photographer. That's what we do. We help each other whenever we can. As college communications professionals, we all want to have a seat at the table. That's the key mantra for us. We know that it is. We are critical contributors to the athletic department and the college or universities, but we work in sports, and it's okay to have some fun. I hope you leave here a little refreshed, hope you picked up some pointers professionally, saw some old friends, and maybe made some new friends. Finally, we welcome your involvement in CSC. Please consider joining a committee, vote for the academic All-American teams, and we're working on that. We'd love for you to be part of our all-in membership. We want and will be inclusive. So we still have a couple of panels left for the afternoon. I hope you can enjoy them. Thanks, everybody, and safe travels home. Thank you. One piece of business, the 25-year recipients, we want to take a picture up here, so we could ask all of those guys to come. Oh, I'm supposed to give this to Jess. And I'm supposed to present this to Jess.